Honorable Sangoni, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Honorable Chairperson. Afternoon, honorable members.
Honorable Ntuli, good afternoon.
Honorable Ndruli's got an apology, Chair.
Honorable Ngola, good afternoon.
Honorable Mwala's got an apology. He'll be joining us shortly.
Honorable 𝐬𝐻𝐾𝐿, good afternoon.
Afternoon, Chairperson.
Thank you so much. Honorable Skosana, good afternoon.
Lotshani ngiyalotshisa nesihlalo nesithaba sikaZimo namalunga weParliament ePhakamileko ngithi ngezandla zombili 𝐜𝐾𝐿.
Honorable Nomvalo, good afternoon. Honorable Shongwe.
Good afternoon, Chair. Good afternoon, colleagues.
Honorable Breitenbach.
Good afternoon, Chair.
Honorable Cameron, good afternoon.
Chair.
Honorable Kola Barnett, good afternoon.
She has an apology, Chair. She's on a flight. And I think 𝐾𝐿 is also on a flight. I'm not sure.
Okay. Honorable Malema, good afternoon.
Chair, it's Leanne Matthys. Honorable Malema will join us. We're just wrapping up a meeting at headquarters.
Honorable Matthys, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Chair.
Good afternoon, Honorable Mngango. Good afternoon, Honorable Sols.
Afternoon, Chair and colleagues.
Thank you. Good afternoon, Honorable Vessels.
Good afternoon, Chairperson.
Honorable James, good afternoon. Good afternoon to the evidence leaders, Honorable Advocate 𝐟𝐨𝐫𝐿𝐵𝐿𝐿, Advocate Mkhize, Advocate Mkhwanazi. Good afternoon, Mr. Tejana.
Afternoon, Chairperson.
Good afternoon, Dr. Thule.
Good afternoon, Chairperson and members. Thank you.
Mr. Ramano, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Chair and members.
Yes, Nicolette, good afternoon. Okay, good afternoon to the members of the media and the staff of political parties. Can we quickly, for the purpose of record, rotate the apologies? The African National Congress.
Thank you very much, Chair. We have an apology from Honorable Nduli. He's engaged in party work. Honorable Ngola will join us as soon as he lands his on a flight. Thank you.
The MKP. The DA.
Sorry, Chair, can you hear me?
Hello, Honorable Shongwe.
Yes, sir. Honorable Nomvalo will be joining us. He's busy in a meeting, but soon he'll be joining us very soon. Thank you.
Honorable Breitenbach.
Thank you, Chair. Honorable 𝐾𝐿 Barnard is on a flight. And I think Honorable 𝐾𝐿 is also on a flight. I'm not entirely sure. But they both fly at this time of the afternoon because she comes from Durban and he comes from Job.
Okay.
Chair.
Hello, Honorable Skosana.
I'm not sure what is happening, Chair, here, because the this is a repeat. You know, I've already introduced myself. The things which we are talking, what I'm hearing here, is the things which are already passed a minute or 2 minutes ago. So I'm not sure what is happening, because I'm still hearing you calling Honorable Breitenbach, and I've already heard her earlier. So I don't know. I don't know what is happening with the network. You know.
Yeah, you need to get yourself to a proper place, or log out and log in again.
Again, okay, because really I'm
Yeah.
I'm
Point of order,
getting
Chair,
this message
it's
for the second time.
Honorable Shongwe.
No, Chair, it's Honorable Skhosana is not mistaken. It's just the A being out of order, repeating the very same thing and putting things where they are not supposed to be. We are now on apologies, Chair. So just to correct
Which
that.
is precisely what I'm doing. I'm putting the apologies on record, not out of order at all.
Yes, Honorable Breitenbach is in order because she was called by me to record the apologies.
Yes,
Okay.
Chair. She also said the same thing on greeting.
Yeah, no, that is not a problem. We were still coming to apologies. Maybe Honorable Sangone as well and Honorable Matthews said the same things when I was greeting members from their parties, because they knew those members are not in the meeting and may not be able to respond. Honorable Matthews, can we please record the apology of the EFF?
Yes, Chair. Honorable Malema will join us. We're just wrapping up a meeting at headquarters. Hopefully in time while our meeting still continues. And also, Chair, I have a flight and I couldn't get a later flight. So I might also need to be excused as soon as my flight takes off.
Okay.
But I'll drop you a message as soon as that happens.
Okay.
Thank you, Chair.
Do we have an apology for Honorable Mwango Ramano? Honorable Souls, do we have apologies?
No apologies, Chair.
Okay. Honorable Vessels, do we have apologies?
Thank you, Chair. If we now, just asking for it to be excused then. The meetings, political party meeting starting at 17.
Okay. Honorable, do we have apology from Honorable James?
I'm here, Chair. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Good evening.
Good evening, Chair.
Mr. Tejana, do we have apologies from evidence leaders?
No, Chairperson, I didn't get any apology. I'm not sure whether they are aware that was sitting in the first place, but I know for the fact that they are busy doing work for the committee.
Oh, okay. Bonani, may we please slide the agenda?
Chair, maybe just before we go there, we've got that extended apology of Honorable Proper.
Yeah, up until the 24th. Is that so? Mr. Ramano.
Chairperson?
Yes, how are you?
I'm good, and how are you?
Great. Are we flighting the agenda on the screen?
Yes, it is on the screen.
Okay, thank you so much. Honorable members, we have the agenda on the screen. We circulated the report with yourselves from the office of the STP on the progress that has been made regarding the cases that honorable members have inquired about. And there is an update on the appearance of the IGI. There is also a legal opinion which has been, there is a letter and a legal opinion that are being circulated in the meeting. And then there is a correspondence from Mr. Bester and his lawyers who are requesting to appear before the committee. And then the question to the president, you remember the office has written to us and requested that they be given until the close of business today to submit. And then the last will be the minutes. Can I check if there is any other member who wants to speak to the items on the agenda?
Yes, I've raised my hand, Chair.
Honorable Kosana.
My hand I've raised because there's an issue which I've deposited last week from a gentleman called Jemani Prim. And his affidavit was deposited to the secretary. And I see there's only Thabo Bester. And I think I must raise that the issue of Jemani as well has to be in the part and parcel of the agenda.
Okay. Where is the matter coming from? Hello, Honorable Skosana.
Do you hear me, Chair? I'm saying the matter was brought in by one member from the Correctional Service, Honorable Taibosh. Then the matter was sent to us, and there was a correspondent from the gentleman himself who's in jail, Jemani Prim. So as I said, they must have a sworn affidavit. They've sent that sworn affidavit. I've deposited that sworn affidavit into the group, and I've sent that to the secretary.
So in their letter, do they explain why they did not comply with the deadline of the 31st of October?
Yeah, the issue was that the treatment, I don't want to, because it will take time, but I can if you want me to explain what exactly happened there. As we speak here, after this matter was deposited to us, I don't know whether it has linked, but the treatment has changed. We've received messages from the mom that the guy is not eating. There's a lot of things happening in whatever, CMEX prison or whatever is happening there. So I don't want to go on the merits, of that matter, because everything was deposited into the group and the secretary received that. And so I don't know why was it not on the
I mean, why they have not. Remember, we have dealt with similar matters before. But even when we dealt with those matters, the committee will want to know the reasons why the person only makes a submission now. Why didn't they comply with the deadline,
with the deadline.
Of the 31st of October? You remember?
I remember.
Yes, we dealt with all those matters, including Mr. Chetty, Mr. Mlocha, and everybody.
Yes.
Why didn't they comply? That is the question that the committee asked first.
Yeah, I'm not going to speculate, Chair. I'm going to respond the same way as Thabo Bester thing, which is on the agenda today. That's exactly what happened.
Okay, no, it's fine. We will put the matter on the agenda, and members will interact with it. Is that okay?
Yes, so it's okay, Chair.
Okay, can I check if there is any other submission to the agenda? Any mover for the adoption?
So, Chair, I think I have engaged you, but I'll engage you offline because I'm still gathering the facts in terms of certain submission that they submitted on time. But I'll engage even if it's after the meeting. I'll engage on Chief just to put it on record. Thank you.
I can't hear you, Honorable Shoma.
I'm saying, Chair, I will engage you on a matter of submission that was submitted. So I'm still gathering whether it was submitted in time before the closing date or not. And I can't disclose the name now, Chair, until I gather my facts. For the sake of getting everything in order. So I'll engage you out of line if I get my facts on time.
Okay. Mr. Tejana, can we take the first 4 items? Item number 2, 3, 4.
Good afternoon, Chairperson. Greetings to the honorable members and colleagues. Chairperson, you will recall that we had reported at our last meeting of Monday, 9th March 2026, that the Constitutional and Legal Services Office had received an instruction from the Speaker's Office to put together affidavits in respect of 2 incidents that took place on the 19th of November 2025, i.e. the Mr. Nkabinde incident and the incident that took place on the 26th of February 2026, i.e. the walkout incident, for purposes of opening a criminal case against Mr. O'Sullivan in line with the legal provisions of the Powers, Privileges and Immunities of Parliament and Provincial Legislatures Act. Chairperson, we can confirm that on Thursday, 12 March 2026, a criminal case was opened against Mr. O'Sullivan at the Cape Town Police Station under case number CAS 752-03-2026. On Friday, Chairperson, which is the following day, on the 13th of March 2026, we were informed by the Cape Town Police Station through Colonel Stephens that the matter will be investigated by the Directorate for Priority Crime Investigation, the DPCI, commonly known as the Hawks. As you may be aware, the DPCI is mandated by Section 17, capital D, of the South African Police Service Act to prevent, combat, and investigate national priority offences. The core mandate and focus areas of the DPCI include serious organized crime, serious commercial crime, serious corruption, and specialized investigations, which handle cases requiring specific expertise as determined by the national head of the DPCI. Importantly, the referral of this case to the Hawks makes it clear that the acts which Mr. O'Sullivan committed on the 19th of November 2025, i.e. in respect of the Mr. Nkabinde incident, and on the 26th of February 2026, in respect of the walkout incident, have been classified as national priority offences in terms of the subject investigation, presumably maybe because they took place in Parliament. Chairperson, we will keep you in the loop regarding all further developments in this matter. I thank you. with your leave, Chair, can I proceed to the other one?
Yes, let's proceed to the next item.
Thanks, Chairperson. Chairperson, the second one relates to an opinion on the appearance of the Inspector General of Intelligence before the committee. You will recall that during oral evidence by various witnesses before the committee, the IGI emerged as a person of interest due to his active involvement in the criminal justice system. For that reason, the committee has invited the IGI to appear before it to give evidence on oath or affirmation regarding, amongst others, allegations of procurement of properties by the Crime Intelligence Division of the SAPS. The IGI has responded to the committee via written correspondence to the chairperson, indicating that he can only appear before the committee once his statutory obligations have been fulfilled. These statutory obligations, which the IGI must fulfill, relate to a consultation process he must undertake with the President and the Acting Minister of Police prior to the disclosure of classified information. On the 24th of February 2026, the IGI initiated the consultation process with the Minister, and the Minister responded to him through written correspondence on 26 February 2026, advising that he is seeking legal advice on the matter. On 25th February 2026, the IGI initiated the consultation process with the President, and to date, he has not yet received any response from the President. In his request for consultation with the Minister, the IGI has listed documents that are relevant to the committee's terms of reference. May I also make the point that on 12 September 2025 and on 15 September 2025, the IGI indicated to both the chairperson of the Joint Standing Committee on Intelligence and to the chairperson of our committee, respectively, that the matters on which his testimony is requested relates to issues of national security, which are subject to restrictions in law and which are dealt with in closed session by the Joint Standing Committee on Intelligence. To this end, the IGI made it known to the chairperson of the committee that on the 5th August 2025, he testified on similar matters before the Joint Standing Committee on Intelligence. As we are all aware, the committee's duration will expire on 31st March 2026, and the committee deems it crucial to hear the evidence of the IGI prior to the finalization of its report. As a result of time constraints within which the committee must wind up its business, other members of the committee have expressed a view that it might be necessary for the committee to invoke its summoning powers in order to secure the appearance of the IGI. It is against this background that the chairperson approached the Constitutional and Legal Services Office requesting to be advised on how to take this matter forward, and the legal question being how to secure the appearance of the IGI before the committee in a lawful manner. Chairperson will start by making reference to Section 191, subsection 1 of the Constitution, which provides that the security services of the Republic consist of a single defense force, a single police service, and any intelligence services established in terms of the Constitution. The point being made being that intelligence services fall under Chapter 11 of the Constitution, which deals with security services. Section 199, subsection 8 of the Constitution provides that to give effect to the principles of transparency and accountability, multi-party parliamentary committees must have oversight of all security services in a manner determined by national legislation or the rules and orders of Parliament. Chairperson, for our purposes, the national legislation referred to herein is the Intelligence Services Oversight Act number 40 of 1994, the Oversight Act, which is the legislative instrument that establishes the Joint Standing Committee on Intelligence. Joint Rule 152 provides that the Joint Standing Committee on Intelligence, established by the Oversight Act, must perform the oversight function concerning the intelligence services as required by Section 199, subsection 8 of the Constitution. Chairperson, the Joint Standing Committee on Intelligence is a privileged committee of Parliament. Chairperson, we say the Joint Standing Committee on Intelligence is a privileged committee of Parliament for a myriad of reasons. Firstly, It is a committee constituted in terms of national legislation, namely the Oversight Act. Secondly, it is governed by its own rules, namely the rules of the Joint Standing Committee on Intelligence. Thirdly, no member of parliament may be appointed as a member of the Joint Standing Committee on Intelligence before the State Security Agency has issued a security clearance in the prescribed manner in respect of that member. Fourthly, it is the only committee of parliament whose default position regarding the convening of its meetings takes place in closed sessions. Chairperson would like to believe that there is a cogent reason for what I have just mentioned. This reflects the recognition by Parliament that intelligence information is of a sensitive and classified nature, and that its disclosure must be carefully regulated and subject to appropriate institutional safeguards. The IGI's functional accountability to the Joint Standing Committee on Intelligence in terms of the Oversight Act is characteristic of the unique, special, different, and specific statutory oversight architecture for intelligence matters. We make it bold that the IGI has made it clear that the information which the committee requires him to disclose is classified information. Accordingly, the IGI has informed the committee that Section 7(8)(b) of the Oversight Act places a legal obligation on him to consult with the President and the Minister of Police prior to the disclosure of classified information. The above-mentioned statutory requirement serves as an important safeguard to ensure that intelligence information is disclosed only in circumstances that are consistent with the legal framework governing the protection of classified information and national security. We say the elephant in the room is that the appearance of the IGI before the committee may give rise to circumstances in which intelligence information may be disclosed. Such disclosure, if undertaken without compliance with the consultation requirements prescribed by Section 7(8)(b) of the Oversight Act, would be inconsistent with the statutory framework governing intelligence oversight. The import of Section 7(8)(b) of the Oversight Act is such that the conditions which are peremptory in nature that must be met prior to disclosure are of supreme importance and must take precedence over any other right or obligation in law as stated in the subject provision. Importantly, failure on the part of any person to comply with the subject section is an offense in terms of Section 7(A) of the Oversight Act, and the offender may, upon conviction, be liable to a fine or to imprisonment for a period not exceeding 5 years. Chairperson, our reading of Section 7(A) of the Oversight Act is that Section 7(8)(b) of the Oversight Act falls under a statutory prohibition created under Section 7, subsection 8 of the Oversight Act. It therefore goes without saying that the committee cannot invoke its summoning powers on an act or action that is statutorily forbidden. We say the IGI is permitted under the proviso of just cause in Section 17, subsection 1A of the PIPA, read with Section 7(8)(b) of the Oversight Act, to withhold the disclosure of intelligence information if such disclosure is inconsistent with the relevant statutory requirements of the Oversight Act. Importantly, the committee's summoning powers do not extend to intelligence information. Accordingly, Section 7(8)(b) cannot be wished away because our law is not self-executing. In view of the above, it is evident that there are certain peremptory conditions which the IGI must comply with prior to its appearance before the committee, and those statutory requirements must be complied with as a matter of law. Chairperson, we say, in contrast to the above, Joint Rule 81 provides a mechanism in which it is permissible for the Joint Standing Committee on Intelligence to confer with the committee. Rule 7 of the rules of the Joint Standing Committee on Intelligence provides that meetings with other committees in terms of Joint Rule 81 are not open to the public, including the media, except in accordance with legislation, provisions of the rules of the Joint Standing Committee on Intelligence, or resolutions of the Joint Standing Committee on Intelligence. This prohibition also includes all documents officially before or emanating from the Joint Standing Committee on Intelligence. Chairperson, in view of the foregoing, our advice is that Section 7(8)(b) of the Oversight Act sets out peremptory conditions for the disclosure of intelligence or information received by the IGI from the relevant services, and this must be fully complied with. Moreover, our reading of Section 7(A) of the Oversight Act is that Section 7(8)(b) of the Oversight Act falls under a statutory prohibition created under Section 7, subsection 8 of the Act. It therefore goes without saying, we repeat, that the committee cannot invoke its summoning powers on an act or action that is statutorily forbidden. We're of the view that given the time constraints within which the committee must wind up its business, it may take longer for the IGI to conclude the mandatory consultation process with the relevant members of the executive. In contrast to the above, and should the committee be so minded or be so inclined, the mechanism set out in Joint Rule 81, read with Rule 7 of the Rules of the Joint Standing Committee on Intelligence, may come in handy in laying the basis for the Joint Standing Committee on Intelligence and the committee to confer on the issues listed under paragraph 7 of this memorandum. The preceding paragraphs rings true, particularly in view of the fact that the IGI has indicated that he has already testified on these issues in closed session before the Joint Standing Committee on Intelligence. We so advise, Chairperson. Chairperson, may I also take this opportunity to inform the committee that we wrote to the IGI with a view to finding out as to where is he in relation to his consultation process. He wrote to us last week, Monday, but we thought before this meeting sits, we must make a follow-up. The IGI has duly responded. The consultations have not taken place yet. The report which he gave us last week, Monday, regarding the fact that the acting Minister of Police is seeking legal advice still stands. In other words, they have not reverted to him. The President as well has not reverted to the IGI. That's why, Chairperson, we have the view that let's make use of our own internal mechanisms as advised. Thank you, Chairperson.
When you say, yeah, let's make use of our own internal mechanisms, you are speaking in reference to the section on security services.
No, I'm speaking in relation to the conferral powers, Chairperson, of the Joint Standing Committee.
That's what I'm saying, because remember, yes, you opened by quoting a relevant provision,
yes,
on national security, and then the empowering provision on oversight.
Yes.
So that your recommendation becomes very clear to the committee, yes, as to what are you actually, in the light of the response that the IGI has given to us and the unfolding developments, what becomes your firm recommendation before the committee is that the matter should be handled in accordance with the existing provision.
That's correct, Chairperson. I say that, Chairperson, our joint rules, together with the rules.
Also note the work that the Joint Standing Committee would have done so far.
That's correct, Chairperson.
Exactly. Okay. Honorable members, I'm going to rotate the two items for discussion. Can we hear the African National Congress?
Thank you very much, Chairperson, and let's also welcome the presentations that have been delivered. Chairperson, on the first item of the court case against Mr. O'Sullivan, we welcome the progress in this matter. I do think that even the designation as a priority crime, given the place that Parliament holds in the
architecture of South Africa is important and is welcome. So we are happy with that report. On the second issue, Chair, relating to the Inspector General of Intelligence, I think that we had always known from the onset of this committee that there was particular protocols around the management of intelligence information. And it indeed should come as no surprise to us, at least, the fact that the IGI is expected to have such consultations and confirm his appearance before the committee. What I think complicates the situation even more, Chair, is that the Inspector General, I'm not sure if it's in the legal opinion or it's in his letter, he insists that what he does not have on hand are the reports that he was relying on, and we obviously want to put before the committee. Now, if he has been stripped of his security clearance, I don't see how he is going to have access to those reports anyway. When we were discussing as a committee at the formation of the Committee on Issues of Intelligence, we said an avenue we may have open to us rather than seeking now, to summon and I suppose push back against legislation we've always known was in place. We said an avenue would have open to us is to apply for the declassification of certain documents, and we would get guidance on how to do that. Now, and I want to put that on the table, Chair, perhaps as a way of seeking to gain access to this information. We have no problem with the proposal around conferring with the JSCI, who would have had this matter anyway. And if they are able to enlighten this committee on what conclusion have been reached before all those matters, I do think that we can incorporate it in our report. But in the event we are not happy with that, then I think all that is open to us at this point is to seek the declassification of those documents, and would obviously have to set out the cogent reasons why we think that they are important for the work of the Ad Hoc Committee. But over and above that, Chair, I think just to confirm that the main thrust and essence of the legal opinion we do accept, and I think it's more now about what we do moving forward. Thank you very much, Chair.
Thank you. Do we still have anybody from the ANC who wants to speak? Okay, the MKP. The MKP.
Thank you, Chair. Thank you, Chair. I'm sorry, the network, as I said, is a problem. The first matter about Paul O'Sullivan, we just want to see action, Chair, because I've opened a case 2 years ago, and that case against two members, former, one is still in Parliament, the other one is not in Parliament. Those matters are still dragging as we speak, and I hope this case of Paul O'Sullivan is not going to follow what I'm experiencing as an honorable member of Parliament as well, being frustrated by the investigation officer. I hope that this matter of Paul O'Sullivan will really get the attention it deserves. It has to be dealt with like any other cases, but not the one which we all get frustrated after opening those cases. You don't even get anything from the IO to really tell you exactly where the matter is. But I must say that we really welcome that. It was long overdue that something has to happen. We can't have, someone in this country who's law unto himself. Secondly, the matter of IGI. Really, each of the Inspector General, for me, and for 𝐬𝐻𝐫 Party, we are really concerned about this matter. We know that there's secret in this country which perhaps should not be known in public. But once the matter, hence I said in the last meeting, once the matter is being brought to us, and the person who's involved is called to appear before us. I guess that the legal team has exercised their mind for them to come to a conclusion to call that particular witness. But for us to be debating that now, to say there's issues, I mean, they knew that there's issues when it comes to these issues of dealing with members of the Secret Service or members of the crime intelligence, you know. But for us to be told now that we can't because of there's this law which prevent us, there's this regulation which prevent us to be engaged with those. I guess for me, I think as I always say, we are dropping the ball because we're not supposed to be discussing this matter here. You know, for me, it was supposed to be simple that the legal team have exercised, you know, their mind and look at all the laws of this country. Whether are we within the rights of calling those people to appear before us, not to be told that now the technicalities, like what happened to Umbi, or if I'm right, with the SSN. But really, for me, I think we can do better. You know, we can't be discussing matters here when the matter was supposed to be from the initial stages being discussed, whether it's possible for that person to come before us or the laws prevent us to do so. That's my disappointment when it comes to such matters. But otherwise, if it was possible, really we needed the Inspector General to come before us, Chair. Thank you.
We still have a second speaker from the.
Thank you. Thank you.
We can't hear you.
Actually, sorry, my network is bad, but I have nothing to say. So, thank you.
DA.
Thank you, Chair. Chair, I think firstly, in terms of Mr. Sullivan, the process needs to take its course. Of course, I don't think it would be fair if there's any, if he doesn't face the same scrutiny as any other ordinary South African would. So the process needs to take its course. Then secondly, with regards to the IG, Chair, I think it's very convenient for them to now suddenly say can't appear before this committee. You know, so much has been discussed that's relevant to the IG. And I think that if we get a very, very clear indication of what the parameters are within which the discussion can happen, all of the members on this committee are mature enough to determine where they need to stop and where not. And Chair, you yourself know exactly how to, make sure that we act within the parameters that are prescribed to us. So I think it's too easy a way out to now suddenly say that the IG can't appear. A lot of what this committee is based on is because of wrongdoing in the intelligence community, and a lot of it, probably the majority of it, is already public. So I think it's a bit of a cheap scapegoat to try and just get out of it now. He needs to come to the committee. He needs to come and answer questions. There's a lot that's already been discussed in public. And I think it's important that whomever also denies him that opportunity or wants to deny him that opportunity, they should also possibly come and explain that to the committee. I just think it's too easy an excuse. Thank you, Chair.
Do you have a second speaker?
No, Chair. We're all in line. Thank you.
The EFF. The EFF. The IFP. the PA.
Chairperson, eh, this is a sad day, I think, for us, because my understanding is that the IGI is willing to cooperate. He has done everything as per required by Section 78B. He's requested copies of the documents that he doesn't have access to anymore for use in the committee. He has requested for consultation with the executive as the Act requires. But the reason why the legislative requirement is unfulfilled, it's not due to the fault of the IGI. It is because the executive has not responded to the consultation as to when to have such consultation. So because the consultation is delayed, that legislative requirement of consultation is not fulfilled by the IGI, even though when he has the consultation, the very legislation says after consultation with, meaning he's not bound by, he doesn't need permission from the executive to come. He just needs to fulfill the requirement of consulting. But that is withheld outside of his power. He has no control over that. And as a result, he cannot come. So he believes there's just cause to come. But his non-appearance is currently the unfulfilled legal requirement of consultation, and that is being stalled by the executive level. So, and again, I need confirmation if my understanding is correct. That's how it has been explained by the legal opinion that was given to us. If that is the understanding, then as Parliament, our oversight role now should point to the executive, and we should ask the executive, because the legislation is silent on how long is a reasonable time for the executive to stall consultation after the request by the IGI has been made. So the question, because there is silence in the act, the question then as an oversight role should be to the executive to say, what, provide us with the reasons why such consultation has not taken place yet. Once we have that reasons and it's legitimate, then we can say legislatively the requirements is not fulfilled, so we cannot call the IGI. And then of course on Paul O'Sullivan, it goes without saying, you have done wrong, he has done wrong, action should be taken, we have said that, and we should not pull back now. So we support the action that has been taken. Thank you, Chair.
Honorable Vessels.
Thank you, Chairperson. Chair, on the Paul O'Sullivan matter, I note the report and welcome it with regards to the IGI issue. As I suggested last week, I think it will be in the best interest of progress to engage, for us to engage with the presidency and with the acting Minister of Police to find out the reasons why they are not consulting with the IGI. I think what complicates it is the fact that he is suspended, and that might be an impediment on the executive side, or for the executive to go ahead with that consultation. Let's ask them for the reasons. But then the proposal made in the legal opinion with regards to the internal remedies that we could look at, in particular in paragraph 51 of the advice, utilizing Rule 81 and Rule 7 of the JSCI, I think we might it might also assist us. The ideal is to have the IGI to appear in front of us, but in the meantime, we should maybe consider doing what is suggested advised by legal services to go ahead with such a conferral with the Joint Committee, Standing Committee on Intelligence, and that might provide certain answers that we need for the work that we are doing. But at the same time, simultaneously, I suggest that we do ask for presidency and also the acting Minister of Police for the reasons why the consultation is not taking place. Thank you, Chair.
Honorable James.
Thank you, Chair. Chair, we're going to support Honourable Wessels on the matter of the IGI, despite the fact that we don't have much time as a committee. And then on Mr. Paul O'Sullivan, we welcome the report and the progress given. Thank you.
Yeah, honorable members, I think we are one in terms of the report that has been presented on the cases that have been opened against Mr. Paul O'Sullivan. And I find myself in a difficult position to pronounce what your decision is on the matter of the IGI. There is a view that the legal opinion that has been presented here must be accepted, which of course the legal opinion speaks to matters of law, that is legislation that Parliament has passed, and the powers that have been conferred to the committee that is the Joint Standing Committee on Intelligence. And no other committee of Parliament has been conferred such powers. If you look at the JSCI, it's a committee that is empowered by the Constitution from those provisions that Mr. Tejana has read before the meeting. And number two, what is very, very important is what Honorable Sol says to say. The IGI, as a citizen of this country, cannot find himself in the crossfire. And politicians must be considerate that he would have done everything possible to appear before the committee. And the consultations that he sought have not been, or an opportunity for those consultations has not been granted. So there are two parallel views in this meeting. Of course, matters of law are not matters that need our agreement. They just need our understanding. The law that is there has been stated. And the question now is the IGI has tried to follow that law, but the opportunity has not been granted. So can I rotate this matter back to yourself and hear how we come to reconcile the views that are here in this meeting? One, I agree that we must accept the law that is in place. Parliament is the one that passes the law. And Parliament can never be an institution that is seen to be flouting that law. But accountability as well is a competing imperative in our law. And then it has to be done in accordance with the law that is in place. And even ourselves, when we drafted our terms of reference, we said that any information that may be security or intelligence related will be obtainable in accordance with the law that is in place in the country. If you remember that debate where we debated the matter for a very long time, because we were cognizant of the fact that Parliament, as the lawmaking institution, must be primus inter pares in terms of upholding the law that it has passed. And so now we find ourselves here. How do we move forward on this matter? Can I rotate the question again back to you? The legal opinion has been presented, and we are inclined to accept what is stated in the legal opinion, because those matters that are being presented there are matters of law. And then number two, the IGI has tried everything to comply with the law that is in place. So the question now is, and the Joint Standing Committee of Intelligence has at one stage returned to us, stating the very same law, but also to indicate that certain matters would have been referred by the Speaker to them, which are matters that are intelligence related or to the security of the state, which may not be publicly discussed. So how do we deal with such matters without compromising national security or intelligence information? That is basically how we should find a way to come out of this matter. It's not just about the IGI appearing before the committee in terms of the law, but there are also competing imperatives stated in South African law that and the Constitution in particular. If the Constitution decides to be specific about matters of national security and intelligence and how such matters have to be handled, it shows the importance of such matter to the Republic. And so I want to hear you, honorable members, so that we do not make a summary that is not relevant to your discussion. The African National Congress.
Very much, Chairperson. Chair, what I heard the colleagues, the honorable members say, which perhaps, well, since we're rotating now, we'll see whether everybody is in agreement on, was that one, the committee remains committed to hearing the evidence of the IGI. Two, while we accept the legal opinion from Parliament, we do think that it is disingenuous. Before Honorable Mkhwanazi left, she would have also deposited into the chat group some of the thoughts of the EFF, which in particular speaks to what recourse is there where the President and the Minister have refused or do not consult the IGI, I don't know. Now, the second point that I thought the committee was making is that the executive must be held to account for the delays in the consultation. So we would expect that both the minister and the president are asked on why there is a delay in responding to the issue of consultation with the IGI. The third thing I heard the committee saying is that we support the proposal for a conferment with the JSCI on the evidence that has been canvassed with them that we think is necessary for the purposes of the work of this ad hoc committee. And then fourthly, and maybe finally, Chair, was the proposal we had put as well, that we know the reports that we are interested in. Those matters are even outlined in the legal opinion, that parallel to all of these other foregoing steps, we also seek a declassification of those documents, because we are of the view that there may have been criminality that has been committed, and on the basis of that, we don't believe that those reports should be declassified. So we do that as a parallel process to one holding the executive to account, conferring with the JSEI. The one issue I just want to raise, Chair, which I think we must still consider because we will run into a problem, and that is why we are suggesting that we seek the classification of those documents, is if the IGI has been stripped of his security clearance, he will not get access to intelligence information until it is declassified. And that is the reason why we are proposing that parallel to everything else, let's seek declassification of that thing, because the likelihood of him getting it without security clearance is as good as me trying to access classified documents when I don't have top security clearance. Thank you very much, Chairperson.
Okay, I think that helps us to move forward. Let's hear what other members are saying. The DA.
No, Chair, before the DA.
I mean the MKP, sorry.
Yes. Yeah, I'm saying, Chair, you know, I don't have, as you said yourself, that, you know, the legal advice which we got, it's as a matter of law, you know, compel us to do what we think perhaps from as members, we thought that this matter of the IGI, because I still insist as well, Chair, to say the same legal advice brought the name on the agenda of the Inspector General. Now, I don't understand the turnaround now. That before that, they didn't know all these things. I'm still sitting on that. That we can't have this thing, you know, being put on the agenda, then at the end of the day, we are told what we are being told by the same legal advice, by the same legal team. I mean, for me, it's strange, Chair, that by the time they've put the name of the Inspector General to appear before us, they knew all these things. Hence, I'm saying, you know, we'll be suspicious of a cover-up. No, but really, we needed the Inspector General to appear before us, Chair. It's very, 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 very important. But be that as it may, you know, if the other core committee members feel that really we can leave that as well. But for me, really, I think it's a travesty of justice for us not to have the Inspector General appearing before us. That's what I can say. I mean, we've been talking about this matter, I don't know how many times. Thank you, Chair.
The DA.
Thank you, Chair. Chair, I again want to reiterate, I understand some of the complexities, but then we shouldn't have touched on many of the issues that we've touched on. Then, with respect to the legal team and the legal advisors, they should have stopped us from diving into certain things that are supposedly classified. I also don't see how now suddenly this classification plays such a big role. It's almost as though as soon as we're now getting to the point where we can see some kind of resolve or find a solution, we're told that that it's suddenly classified. First of all, I think quite a bit, if not all, should be declassified. I think it's also very important that we get an opportunity to engage the IG on any matter that the committee has discussed before. If there's anything that's relevant to what the committee has already discussed openly and in public, I don't see why we cannot further discuss that with the IG. I think this is an opportunity for corruption and any other valuable information to actually be indirectly covered up, and that's not directed to the IG himself or anyone else. It simply means that there are things that need to be aired and that need to be discussed in public. Yeah, Chair, I think if we were in contravention or allegedly in contravention of any form of legislation, we should have been told that before, and then we should have discussed it. But I agree with the Honourable Skhosana. I don't understand how now suddenly it's an issue. We've touched on so much of this before. Why is it a problem now? Thank you, Chair.
Okay. The EFF. EA.
Chairperson, my understanding of the classification and again, I will submit to guidance is that the reason why the IGI has requested copies from the Minister of Police is because this classified information was during a time when the IGI had security clearance before his suspension. So he's making reference to confidential or classified information that he had sight of, he had access to. That's number one. Number two, the classified information in question is information drafted by the IGI. So if it's a matter of access for him, he has already had sight of it. He's the one who drafted it. So he has already had access. But because of the legal technicality of him having been suspended now, this now makes it impossible for him to just easily go and access. So now he must, like everybody else, ask permission and so on. So therefore, he requested copies, not for himself, but for the purpose of presenting to the committee in order to assist us with our constitutional duty. So this seems to me like falling within the parameters of our constitutional mandate and that of the IGI and that of the executive. But other than that, we support whatever the committee will, at the end of the day, whatever the conclusion will be. But it's just these elements that we seek clarity on, Chair, from our legal team. So that I make that submission in addition to what I put to the legal team earlier, that perhaps they can also provide clarity on the understanding of access of the IGI to the classified information in question. Thank you, Chair.
Honorable Vessel.
Thank you, Chairperson. Yeah, I'll repeat what I said earlier. My opinion is that we should engage with the President and with the Acting Minister of Police and ask for reasons why the consultation has not taken place yet. And in the meantime, we should continue with the advice as per paragraph 51 of the legal opinion to confer with the Joint Standing Committee on Intelligence and on these matters. And then I agree with the ANC's view that we should also apply for the declassification of the documents in the meantime. Thank you, Chair.
Honorable James.
Thanks, Chair. I'm not going to belabor this matter. I support the views of MK and the DA. Thank you.
Thank you so much, honorable members. I think now you have spoken unambiguously, and we now understand what the committee is saying. And Honorable Sangweni has said all the things in one that honorable members are saying, that the report of the legal team is noted and accepted by the meeting. Number two, that we must check the point that Honorable Sol has just made, whether the IGI has been stripped of his security clearance. Because if he has been stripped of his security clearance, honorable members, it means that he does no longer have access to any document. And even if he appears before us, he will not base his evidence on any authoritative source because he doesn't have any access, even if those documents would have been authored or filed by him. So it's a matter that has to be verified. And number two, we agree that we should confer with our sister committee, the Joint Standing Committee on Intelligence. And then we also agree that the executive must be made to explain why they would not have granted the IGI an opportunity or responded to him. And the last point that is that the documents we may have to apply for the declassification of the documents. And I think that is contingent on the IGI unable to appear before the committee or on our meeting with the Joint Standing Committee of Intelligence. So coming out of this meeting, we will then write to the JSCI to request for a meeting with them. We have been going back and forth with them, communicating with letters. And I think now a face-to-face meeting with them is something that can yield us results. So we are going to conclude the matter in that way that the members have said we should do. Thank you so much for your inputs on this matter. In the first round, you will pardon me, honorable members, I was unable to summarize your discussions. But I think matters came out unambiguously during the second round as to what the committee is essentially saying. Can we then take the next two items, Bonani, which will be the two applications, the application of Mr. Bester and his team, and the application that Honorable Skhosana has referred us to.
Chairperson, through your leave, can we first take the questions to the President, that aspect?
It's not a problem. We can take the three items together because the question is to hear whether you have received the responses, and once the responses are here, what do we do with those responses?
No, so I'll speak on the questions to the President to that aspect. Chairperson, we have just received, you will recall that the President wrote to us, Chairperson, requesting that they furnish us with their responses no later than close of business today. Today, Chairperson, we received correspondence from the Parliamentary Counsellor to the President, Dr. 𝐼𝐻𝐻𝐿. And the letter reads as follows, Chairperson. Please note that the President will submit his responses to the questions posed by the Ad Hoc Committee tomorrow on Tuesday, 17 March 2026. Sincere apology for any inconvenience caused. Thank you.
You're done, Mr. Tejana, because I can no longer hear you.
Yes, Chairperson, it was just a two-liner letter, Chairperson, to say that they will be submitting their responses tomorrow, Chairperson.
Okay, no, the members have heard you. Yes. And then the next item is the letter of Mr. Bester.
Yes, Chairperson. Chairperson, this is a very scanty letter because all the citizen is saying is that he wants to come and appear And it's not clearly spelled out in terms of what contribution would he be making in terms of the committee's scope of investigation or terms of reference. Safe to say that he wants to come and appear, and I think, Chairperson, we leave it in your hands as the honourable members of this committee to guide us whether you would like him to come and appear or not. Thanks, Chairperson.
Okay. Can we hear the last application?
I think Mr. Ramano will speak to that, Chair. I don't have that.
No, Chairperson, I think Honorable Skosana should table it.
Did you receive that application, Ramano?
No, Chair, I did not receive an application. I only received a document via WhatsApp from Honorable Skosana, and I requested him to share it in the group.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, let's allow him to present it.
Chair, I've forwarded this application, and not only today. Last week, after it was being commissioned to the group and for the secretary to see it, like they've done with the Thabo Bester one. Now, remember, I'm a messenger. Yeah, this is not my affidavit. Hence, I'm surprised when Ramano says I must represent this thing, because I thought he read this thing with the legal team and they'll have an opinion on this matter. Not me having an opinion, because I'm just a messenger on this matter. But this matter comes from the guy called Gemini Prim. He communicated this with Honorable Member Taibosh and Honorable Member Ndlela to say he's being mistreated at 𝐬𝐮𝐬𝐜𝐫𝐢𝐻 prison. Now, that's besides the point. All the merits and demerits of the matter is on this affidavit. Now, I'm not going to explain this thing, because hence I was saying it's not for me, it's for the Ad Hoc Committee members. I thank you, Chair.
Okay, no, thank you so much. The matter has been presented. It's from what we hear is that the citizen complains about ill treatment in his in the prison where he's held. So can we then circulate the 3 items to the committee for discussion? The African National Congress.
Thank you very much, Chairperson. Chairperson, the letter from the President is very unfortunate, given the fact that we had already given an extension until today, close of business. Yeah, it's very unfortunate. But I suppose since the day that they are saying or confirming that we will have the letter is tomorrow, I think we should accept that, Chair, but make it very clear to the Presidency that we will not be willing to entertain any further extensions. But if it's until this tomorrow, it's fine. Chair, I'm not sure, you know, I do understand that the decisions relating to witnesses and so forth are decisions of the committee. But the committee last week and a few weeks before that had reiterated the point that we have now come to the end of the hearings. There will be no new witnesses that are going to be called, which is the reason why we even moved Generals Masemola and Mkhwanazi to this week, because it was made very clear in this meeting that they are last witnesses. Now, we are not saying that people who want to be heard because they're being mistreated or any other thing should not be heard. And it was for this reason that we had said when we get certain submissions and even when we develop our recommendations, some of these testimonies must be forwarded to the relevant portfolio committees concerned. Now, if Mr. Bester and Mr. Prim are being ill-treated in wherever in prisons, I suppose that is a matter for the correctional services portfolio to look at. I think as this ad hoc committee, having come to the conclusion of the hearings, we need to record those as part of the submissions that we have received. But if there's a need for hearings, it should go to the relevant portfolio committees. Thank you, Chair.
MKP.
Chair, can I make an addition?
Sorry, Chair, we have additional.
Hello.
Chair, we have
Honorable Sangoni.
We have additional speakers from the ANC, Chair.
Okay, that is allowed.
Honorable Mola will go first and then the Chief Whip. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you so much, Chairperson. I think part of what we must avoid as the committee, Chair, is that a lot of people are going to make their own way to plead their own views, to outpour their own issues with the committee, which are no longer relevant with the terms of reference that we have adopted. The issue with Mr. Bester is solely about his treatment and all that and all that. It completely has nothing to do with what we're trying to probe and investigate. He's trying to seek a refuge from what we as the committee are trying to do. He has tried every angle in the world, including courts, has been debated. So we see what we're doing as his refuge. So I want to corroborate, Chair, that we shouldn't allow Mr. Bester to come and use this committee as his refuge. And his application to appear before the committee should be dismissed. Thank you very much, sir.
Chair.
Chief Whip.
Yeah, Chair, thank you very much. Good afternoon to you and colleagues. And please accept my apology because my voice is not in the good shape. But I'm quite certain that
you sound like a nongoma sangoma.
You have not recovered, Chief Whip.
Yeah, but I'm sure you can hear me. No, I think firstly, I want to agree with the proposal that we should accept the extension requested by the presidency on condition that there won't be a further extension. I think it's important for us to make that point because that issue of a perpetual extension of any kind has got implications on our ability to have our work concluded within the time frame that has been agreed upon by the portfolio committee. So I think it's important that we have to underline that point, that if the submission was meant to come before the end of business today, it has to come tomorrow. If it doesn't come, I think, Chair, you'll have to convey our displeasure to the president, which I think would be somehow failing the president, and by extension, getting the president to be part of that failure, which is not what we want to see as a committee. The second issue, I'm fully in agreement. I'm in full agreement with the view that we don't need to meet Mr. Bester. I would imagine that there are many people who are incarcerated in our correctional facilities who, in one way or the other, are not happy with the treatment of by other inmates or treatment by officials of the state or whatever the case may be. I think what we should say in response to him and others like him is that this matter must be dealt with by the Portfolio Committee on Correctional Services. Because there's a committee in Parliament which has a responsibility to deal with matters that relate to correctional services. And the fact that we're an ad hoc committee it's not in any way really, minors or weaken the standing and the prestige of the other portfolio committees of Parliament who have a direct responsibilities to matters of this nature. The other one, I also think that the one that was presented briefly by Honorable Skhosana, I think my own advice would be that my own suggestion, Chair, is that I think we need to come to the point where we accept that it was not going to be possible for us to meet literally every South African who has a desire to appear before the Ad Hoc Committee. It's impossible. It was never going to be possible. I think we will have to write back to them in the same way I'm suggesting with Mr. Pester and give a pointed recommendation as to where should their matters be taken up, and as members of Parliament in our individual capacities, because beyond having handed over our report, we will cease to be members of the Ad Hoc Committee. But in our own individual capacities as members of Parliament, we will make sure that these matters are followed through and they are attended to by the relevant authorities of Parliament or of the state. That's what I wanted to say, Chairperson, and thank you very much.
The MKP.
Thank you, Chair. One, Chair, the issue of the President not responding by the 16th, they requested the date themselves last week, Monday. Now, it's the 16th today, we are told stories. They are behaving the same way as Paul or Sullivan. There's not a difference at all. The Councillor for the President must be told, and the President must be told, it's unacceptable. For the highest office in the land.
Point of order.
No, wait.
On a point of order.
Wait.
On a point of order, Chair.
Honorable Nola, let's allow the honorable member
to it's incorrect to say the presidency is behaving like Paul of Sullivan. The presidency did not walk out of what we're doing. It's incorrect to say the presidency is behaving like Paul of Sullivan. Honorable Skhosana is out of order. Honorable Skhosana is out of order. The presidency did write to us, did plead to us that we can't make this date. Can we do this on a particular day? It has pleaded with us.
Can you protect me,
throughout? Even now, they are writing to us. They did not just go missing. To say the presidency is behaving like Paul O'Sullivan is incorrect and is grossly out of order, Chair.
Chair, can I speak, Chair?
Now you can speak, but not be out of order.
Chair, can I speak, Chair?
You will only speak when you are not out of order.
Chairperson. Chairperson. Chairperson.
We still have Chair, maybe network having a problem. Chair, are you still here?
Yes, I'm in the meeting.
Yeah, but Chair, you are quiet. I've been asking.
Yes, I don't have that gymnastic appetite.
Can I speak, Chair?
I have recognized you to speak.
Yeah, thank you, Chair. No, it's
And
because there was interference here.
what I have said to the honourable member, because the honourable member is debating what you are saying.
No, Chair, it's wrong. It's wrong for you even to think. I've never said. But listen to me, Chair. I've never said, Chair, Paul O'Sullivan has walked out like the president. No. I was saying the president must not behave like Paul O'Sullivan because of these letters of postponing and postponing. Not about walking out. I never spoke about walking out. Who spoke about walking out? I spoke about the behavior that Paul O'Sullivan has been asking for postponement. But I'm saying to you, it's unacceptable, Chair, for the presidency and the president to behave the way they behave. They said that this date for themselves, the 16th, is not us. It's him, the counsel for the president, who said by the 16th, and Honorable Mwango said it's unacceptable then. Today we are getting another excuse. But I understand that because now his party is patronage. What I'm saying, it's wrong, Chair. It doesn't matter who does that. It's completely wrong. If we are all equal before the law, let's accept it's wrong for the president to behave the way they're behaving. I'm not talking about the walk out here. But coming to the issue, back to the issue of Thabo Bester and Prim. If you read the affidavit of Thabo Bester, it's more personal issues and other issues. But if you want to indulge, read that affidavit of, who's this gentleman, Jemani Prim. But if members are not interested, they said portfolio is going to go back where it was. And there's no help, there's nothing because of the issues which he raised. But I thought that we will apply all of us, our mind. But it looks like some of the people didn't read that affidavit. But be that as it may, if the vote is against it, there's nothing I can do because I've deposited that and they've done everything, the honorable members, to bring this matter. Whether you say he must write a letter, but to send him back to the portfolio committee, they won't help with this matter which is here. As far as I'm concerned, this matter is in our terms of reference. I thank you, Chair. Thank you.
I have requested you to listen to me. And sometimes when I keep quiet in the meeting is because I don't want to chair a rowdy meeting. I understand you to be honorable members, and when the chairperson requests you to keep quiet so that the chairperson can give direction on how matters have to be dealt with, I thought you honorable members will understand. Number one is that Honorable Ngola called a point of order, and he was debating the matters that you, Honorable Skosana, have made. And he could have waited for you to finish. And then when you have finished your statement, if there was any other matter that he wanted to raise or to correct emanating from your statement, he would be allowed to do so. But the manner in which he interjected you, I don't think that is correct. Anyway, we have gone past that. I want to thank you that you did not react when he interjected you when you were still speaking. And we have also heard what you said regarding regarding the letter. We are now going to allow the next party, which is the DA, to speak on the three items.
There's a mistake, Chair. Honorable Shongo didn't speak, Chair.
Yes, Honorable Shongo, you can come in.
Thank you very much, Chair. Chair, I wouldn't be surprised by finding similarities between Paulo Sullivan and President Ramaphosa. Remember, Paulo Sullivan said he's trained who Babu Ramaphosa. So the tactics of delaying with letters might be from the training. But what is important is that
on a point of order.
Yeah, this is the point of order I'm going to accept.
And I'll be quiet.
Chair, on a point of order.
Yeah, you will have to hold Honorable Songwe, and we hear Honorable Ngola.
Chairperson, I've actually accepted what you have scolded me on. And I agree that maybe I would have misunderstood what Honorable Skosana was saying, and I apologize sincerely for that. And I think, Chair, here we are discussing a very incorrect thing. Incorrect how, Chair? Incorrect on the basis that the presidency wrote officially to us. And the issue that was testified in the Ad Hoc Committee in relation to the training and the reservist thingy is actually not contextually correct in this meeting for what the presidency is saying to us. The presidency is simply saying
Chair, it's no longer a point of order, Chair. Now this is the statement, Chair.
We will bring the responses to you as the committee, but please allow us few hours later. You remember would have
this is a defense for the president. This chair is a defense for the president. This is not a point of order.
You'll remember, Chair, that would
this
have
is a
made
defense, Chair.
a committee decision.
I have allowed the member to speak on the point of order. If we can allow him to finish.
You remember, Chair, we would have made a decision as the committee to allow the presidency to submit the questions, the responses until today, which is Monday. So it's just a matter of hours that they must submit. So it can't be equivalated to some Mr. Paulo Sullivan and stuff. So, Chair, it is out of order in my view. Of course, Chair, I will submit to your ruling. Thank you.
The point of order is sustained. Honorable Shongwe, can you please proceed?
I will proceed, Chair, but I will correct the fact that, Chair, there's nothing wrong with me saying there's similarities. It is similar. Paul wrote a letter, and President Ramaphosa also did write a letter. So there's nothing wrong with it. Why should it be defended? The fact remains, Chair, we said to President Ramaphosa must come physically at the Ad Hoc and present himself. Now, should Chair, we find that in those letter and answers, we are not satisfied. We'll be, by the time we can call him in, we'll be out of time. Including the fact that if you can hear Honorable Sangoni is saying that we've shifted these two members of SAPS for the last in terms of witnesses and taking off this thing. I don't know how to call it. Paulo Sullivan, but Keshe, to come to the point is that we needed these questions to be answered on time. He was given ample time. He knew before he was defended by the members of the ANC who will be coming. They are the ones who push for the member, the president, not to respond physically, but to respond
on a point of order, Chair. On a point of order.
Point of order taken.
Chairperson, it is factually incorrect and it's misleading for Honorable Shongwe to say members of the ANC were defending Paulo Sullivan. We can go back to the records. The ANC has been on the record.
So the point of order is out of order. I'm talking about defending the president, not Sullivan.
Honorable Shongwe, if you may please allow.
Yeah, I think Shongwe has been away for quite some time, so he's fatigued. He doesn't know what is happening now. I think someone else must fill him in. Shongwe is out of order and
she's answering on Paulo Sullivan. What's fatigue there? talking about Paul Sullivan. I'm talking about President Ramaphosa. I'm saying they've defended President President Ramaphosa. She is calling a point of order for Paul O'Sullivan. What is wrong there, Chair? She is wrong. Correct that, Chair.
We have
You see,
never defended President Ramaphosa
if you can allow Honorable Sango, let me just have your time. If the honorable member can allow you to speak your point of order, as the chair, I have recognized Honorable Sango, and I just want you to know that any other honorable member who speaks without being recognized, the chair does not listen to what is being said. The person who is on the platform now is Honorable Sango. You can go ahead, Honorable Sango.
Thank you very much, Chairperson. It's really unfortunate that we are wasting time having to call points of order when there are important matters on the table. Honorable Shongwe is misrepresenting the African National Congress, and he's misleading this House and the nation. The African National Congress at no point has defended anybody, whether it's O'Sullivan or it's the president. We have merely commented on the request for extensions, and we have said that this extension must be the last. Now, I'm not sure which part of that is defending, and we really do not take kindly to that, Chair.
Can we then allow Honorable Shongwe to proceed?
Thank you, Chair. I think because President Paul Sullivan, because the point of order was on Paul Sullivan. I was speaking on President Ramaphosa. But Chair, as I proceed, Chair, we do not accept the letter, but unfortunately, there's nothing we can do. And Tinaga, Chair, we don't act and as if we want to which city. Wrong and then our President Ramaphosa. Wrong, bekumele ngabuzile. Lento ukuthi aphinda athi uzobhala incwadi. Nakusasa wabhala incwadi Chair siyothini. So akunankinga Chair, iqhubeke. Akusenani, siyabonga.
The DA.
Thank you, Chair. Chair, just regarding the President's letter, I think it is very unfortunate that another extension is asked. I don't really know what more we can do, but to allow that additional little bit of time. But it does send the wrong message, especially because we have previously granted an extension. I guess there's nothing else we can really do. Or at least for now, but it must be placed on record, Chair, that it's unacceptable that we have oversight bodies for a reason, and we have to keep on allowing extension, especially when with other witnesses or people that we've reached out to or communicated with, we try to stop that from happening with other people. But the rest all fine, Chair. Thank you.
The EFF. The PA.
Chair, thank you. On the letter of the President, I see no problem with awaiting the response tomorrow. On the issue of the document submitted by, or the request submitted by Mr. Bester and Mr. Prim via Honorable Nkosana. We obviously know procedurally that this was submitted last week, after which we as a committee has decided we are ending this week. So obviously it's far too late. But Chairperson, you must allow me to deal with the narrative and the underlying motif that is being promoted here by Honorable Nkosana. Firstly, he is right that Mr. Bester's document was placed on the agenda, and it was also received recently. But Mr. Prim's document was not on the agenda. And so that is incorrect. So I agree with him on that. What I disagree with is then the connotation attached to that to make it look like that has happened because there is an attempt by the committee to keep the document of Mr. Prim off the official agenda. To support this view, I was first I gave him the benefit of the doubt. But then as Honorable Skhosana continued to talk, he then said in his submission that, well, if the committee has not read the document, it's fine. And it seems like they haven't read it. And so for that reason, we don't see the importance of the other details that is within the document. So again, that now supports this undertone that there's an attempt of us to ensure that document does not appear. So I want to deal with the elephant in the room clearly, because it's very important that we deal with the lie in the system. So when Honorable Skhosana says, have we read? I want to put for the record, we have read, we as in the Patriotic Alliance has read that document. And what Honorable Skhosana is referring to is the other issues, apart from the treatment in prison. The other issues is Mr. Prim is making very strong allegations against Honorable Gayton McKenzie and Honorable Kenny Kunene. Very, very strong false information there. Now, I don't want the South African populace to think that this committee has a joint attempt to keep that document away because of this information. And then later when it comes out, then it is like the committee has tried to cover this up, and then it makes the integrity of the committee questionable. So I want to ensure that we uphold the integrity of this committee by being transparent. Unfortunately, it's late. We are closing. But the recourse for Honorable Skhosana is that because they believe in those allegations, I think in the spirit of transparency and commitment to assist the member of the public, they should assist the member of the public, one, to take it to the proper committees, two, if they are so confident that are affected, to open cases against it, and so that it's dealt with. I want to encourage Honorable Skhosana.
I have recognized Honorable Souls. I have recognized Honorable Souls. I'm going to request you to allow him to conclude.
Yeah, but I wanted to make a point of order. Just a sentence to say, you should not say that I believe. I don't believe in anything sent by anybody here. We are going to test any allegation. So it's misleading to say I believe. No. Don't attribute that to me. I don't believe anything. We're still gonna deliberate all these matters, Honorable Souls. So don't say I believe. No, I don't believe anything from anyone. Thank you, Jay.
Chairperson, may the record show that I said...
Honorable Souls.
Yes, sir.
Just hold a moment. I'm going to request honorable members to be patient when I request them to hold themselves to allow other members to conclude their statements. I understand that we may be very agitated, but it's always important to wait and allow the member to conclude a statement so that when you respond, you have heard the totality of what the member wanted to say. Be that as it may, I allow you to continue, Honorable Souls.
Thank you, Chair. May the record show that I never said Honorable Skhosana believes. I said if Honorable Skhosana believes, then he should assist the member of the public They should open cases, criminal cases. They should take it to the proper committees. But the reason why I felt the need, Honorable Chair, to open it up is to kill a possible narrative that this committee sought to hid away this document. And then it will affect the integrity of this process that we are involved in. So that's the only reason why I am mentioning it. And I encourage Honorable Skhosana to please follow all the other available mechanisms to deal with that matter if you believe it to be true. We as a party will be very pleased. It's a sad situation that it's now too late, but if they follow through on the other mechanisms, we would be very pleased to deal with those false allegations because it will give us an opportunity, finally, hopefully, to show this country the integrity, the redemption, the change of heart of my president and deputy president, Honorable 𝐬𝐮𝐬𝐫𝐸𝐻𝐿𝐻 McKenzie and Honorable 𝐾𝐭 to give their lives to national duty and the benefit of this country. Their past will forever follow them. But it's opportunities like this that allows for it to finally be put to rest, and hopefully we are getting more closer to the country believing that what they see in the service of President McKenzie, Deputy President 𝐾𝐭 to this country is actually genuine and not a lie. So we would welcome that action from Honorable Skhosana. And I will rest there, Chair. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Honorable Souls. Let me give Honorable Vessels. Honorable James, I think Honorable Vessels would have left. Remember, he requested to be released at some point during the proceedings. Can we hear Honorable James?
Chair, we say in Afrikaans, jy kan nie bloed uit 'n klip uitslaan nie when it comes to the presidency, indicating that we will receive his response tomorrow. So unfortunately, we just have to we have to accept that response. It is unfortunate. I'm not sure if he was made aware of the time constraints of this committee. I think in our correspondence, if we do intend responding, we must be clear that there will be no further extension. I'd like to put that on record. With regards to the second item pertaining to Mr. Bester, I think Mr. Bester and Mr. Prim has been sharing stories because the last time when I checked, the two of them were stationed right next to each other at that prison. We don't have much information with regards to the reasoning or why Mr. Bester would want to appear before this committee, but I would like to agree with the members that spoke before me that this matter can be taken up in the Correctional Services Portfolio Committee. Mr. Prim, I is baie unfortunate because I want to be clear with respond to Honorable Skhosana. Some of us did read that statement. Some of us read it thoroughly. And it is rather unfortunate that it got to us at such a late stage, because I think we would have definitely wanted to hear more about where Mr. Jermaine Prims alleges that 𝐬𝐻𝐫𝐸𝐻𝐿𝐻 McKenzie is involved in drug cartels from the Cape Flats, and saying that, well, he was a friend of Mr. Prim, and that there were phones smuggled in to the prison by Mr. 𝐬𝐻𝐫𝐸𝐻𝐿𝐻 McKenzie. We would have loved to test that information. But as things stand, it's way too late for us now, and we need to conclude, and we need to get back to South Africans. Thank you, Chair.
Chairperson.
Hello, Honorable Souls, I recognize you.
Thank you, Chairperson. I just think it's important, Honorable, that we clear up properly for the country what Honorable James has said. It is not too late for what the allegations, the false allegations that's been made in the document. It's not too late. Honorable James and Honorable Skhosana can join together outside of the committee process and pursue that matter. We want to officially encourage them to do so. If they believe that there are merit, they should not use as an excuse the fact that they applied late for the committee process. That has passed, yes. That has passed, but they can continue and they should continue. Allow me to finish. They should continue.
Yeah,
They
the
should.
point of
Chair, point of order. We cannot be dictated to. We were merely showing that we read the document and we know the contents of it. And we leave it at that. It's too late. We're not going to get into this now.
No, Honorable James, wait. I have just requested you, honorable members. I have recognized Honorable Skhosana to raise the point of order. Honorable Skhosana.
Thank you, Chair. I just wanted to raise the issue that Honorable Saul should resist himself a bit. You can't say something is false without being tested, like any other witnesses. It doesn't matter whether it's a leader or what. It doesn't matter. We are testing, we are probing here. So I'm saying for him to say false and whatever, it doesn't help us. If the matter is not going to be debated here, it's fine. But for him to say false, no. You can't say something is false without being tested. And we are not judging anyone here.
You are essentially saying that we must not debate the content of the submission.
Yes.
Thank you so much. Honorable James, you have also raised a point of order.
Yes, Chair. No, I just wanted to put on record that the reason for me actually pointing out some of the allegations was basically just to prove to Honorable Skhosana that some of us did read the allegations where Mr. 𝐬𝐻𝐫𝐾 is being accused of being in cahoots with the drug dealers here on the Cape Flats. So that was my point. And I just said that it's unfortunate because it's not only from Mr. Prim and Mr. Bester. We've had many applications, South Africans now wanting to come forward. But like I said, we put the interest of South Africans first, and we need to conclude the work of this committee. Thank you, Chair.
Okay. May you conclude, Honorable Saul?
Thank you, Chairperson. On Honorable Skhosana, I have to say that it's false. There's nothing wrong with that because we know that it's false. The onus then would be on us if he continues with the process.
Point of order, Chair.
No, Chairperson. This is now unfair. Let me complete what I want to say then, because now I'm responding to a point of order by Honorable Skhosana, but now another honorable member is raising something else. So may I finish what my response is to Honorable Skhosana and Honorable James? You have to protect me now, Chair. I've waited. Now I can't be interjected all the time.
No, my understanding is that you were making a statement and they
called the point of order.
They interjected with point of order.
Correct. Now I'm responding.
Can you conclude the statement that you were making?
Thank you, Chairperson. So it is not incorrect for us to say it is false. It's our position that it's false because we know it to be false. However, Honorable Skhosana, if he believes it is true, then we are encouraging him to pursue the matter. And I've even said it is an opportunity for us to then finally show the country of the true nature of who Gayton McKenzie and Kenny Kunene is in this country, and their integrity and the quality of their service to this country, right? And then on Honorable...
Chair, you are failing us. Please. Point of order, please.
You don't want to hear... You want us to hear what you want to say about what you believe about the statement. You don't want us to say what we believe. It's incorrect. Then, Chair, lastly, on what Honorable James is saying, I agree with her. Very
Why am I
much
being
so.
muted? Chair.
I agree with Honorable James 100% because Honorable James also knows Jermaine Prim. He's from El Dorado Park just like us. So I agree with her that it's unfortunate that it's too late. It is too late for us in the committee to hear, but it's wrong to say it's too late for the thing to be pursued. Honorable James must pursue it. Herself and Honorable Skosana must pursue it. This is our position. We are encouraging them. We are just saying, don't let the nation believe that it's too late, number one, and two, that now the nation will never be able to hear that thing. No, you must commit to the nation. You, both yourself and Honorable James and Honorable Skosana, you are going to make sure that the nation gets to hear what is stated in there. And we are saying we are not afraid of it. We have nothing to hide. Gayton McKenzie and Kenny Kunene is upstanding citizens in this country. They are serving this country. And soon enough, the nation will know it to be the truth. So bring it on.
Okay, let's do this. No, listen, let's do this. The three speakers that I have recognized. Honorable 𝐬𝐮𝐬𝐽, Honorable James, Honorable Skosana, you will speak in that order.
Thank you, Chair. Chair, it is not true that Honorable Source has to be the one now replying on for those who are accused on that statement. For example, Chair, when he says he knows that those the points in that statement are not true, he is not the one accused. We want to know from his leaders, Honorable Mackenzie and Honorable Kunene, not him. So if he states that it is not true, he is now testifying. So that's why I say I call the point of order before he even continues misleading the country, Chair. I understand what he's saying, but he can't be speaking on behalf of them. By stating that it is not true, he's now saying he's always with them when there's this smuggling of phone and all that. So we want to know if the truth is on them. It can't be him replying on that matter, Chair. I wanted to call a point of order on that one, Chair. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Honorable James.
No, Chair, I just wanted to correct Honorable Salz when he said, we can pursue this matter based on the fact that we believe it's true. We didn't call members to appear before this committee based on us thinking it's true. We called the members here irrespective. We had no view on the statements. We called members to test the information. We didn't call them because we believed it's true. I just wanted to clarify that. Thank you.
Chair. Honorable Skosana.
Thank you, Chair. Chair, I don't want to go to the merits. I want to correct some source once again. Because these are serious allegations made by Mr. Prim when he says that MPs are implicated in criminality. Mkhwanazi and Source said the MPs are incriminated in corruption and MPs are taxed. I'm saying not Saul, but Paul or Sullivan. Now, as MPs, we need to clear our names. But I'm saying for him to talk about Kenny Kunene, who spoke about Kenny Kunene here? Who spoke about we never spoke about anybody, even his leader. But it's him who's talking about them. When I said there's a affidavit which was deposited here, I never spoke about names. Now he's bringing names, he's bringing party names, leaders, this, that, they are clear, these are false. It's not necessary, Jay, here. Here we are talking about an affidavit which was somebody who's been, who is telling us that is being out of court, he's been taken left, right, and center, he could not deposit any affidavit until somebody, whether his lawyer or whoever, said, make a sworn affidavit. But that's not for us to discuss names of patriotic alliance leaders here. We are talking about here. We are probing matters here. We are not judging anyone, and we are not defending anyone. Thank you, Chair.
Chairperson.
Honorable Sols.
Thank
Integrity,
you,
Chair. Our integrity, Chair, is at risk.
And now you're
MPs,
still talking. You are not recognized. You must wait now. I'm being recognized. My turn.
Thank you. I was not finished.
It's my turn, Honorable Skosana. My turn.
I was not finished.
It's my turn. You said you were done and Chair recognized me. So you must allow me to speak now. I've waited for you. The Chair recognized me. You must allow me to speak.
Honorable Sols, it's time for you to speak.
Thank you, Chairperson. Both honorable members from the MK is incorrect. I have the right to say that it is not true. The onus is on them to prove, or the person who's making the allegation to prove that it is the opposite. So let's be clear about that. On the issue of me mentioning the names.
That is testifying.
No, it's not testifying. It is not testifying. You must first start your process, then we will come and testify. So, on the issue of why I mentioned the names, it's because, in my view, it was appearing as if this committee does not want this document to appear. One, by the fact that Honorable Skosana says, why is it that Mr. Bester's document is there and Prim's document is not there? The insinuation can be this committee was trying to keep that parliamentary staff was trying to keep that document from the agenda. So I'm trying to deal with that notion, that implied notion. Two, then Honorable Skosana says, apart from what he's been going through in the prison, there are other things in the document. And I'm not sure whether the committee has read those things, those other things in the document. Now, he is now talking about what is the other things. So I thought, out of transparency and the integrity of this committee, I must come and say what those other things are and let Honorable Skosana and the country know we have read the documents. This is not about keeping the information away. It's about the fact that procedurally, they have submitted their documents late. That's the only reason why it will not be considered. Then I conclude by saying, Honorable James, Honorable Skosana must not give the impression that now it's too late to deal with this matter because they were late. They have the right to continue to pursue this matter. And I'm saying for the record, we are encouraging them to do so. Honorable James, Honorable Skosana must pursue this matter to give the country answers. Why do we welcome it? We welcome it because that is a blessing in disguise for us to finally prove the integrity and the commitment of 𝐾𝐿 and Gayton McKenzie to this country. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you so much, honorable members. We had come to the end of the discussions on the three items. I think the other matters that honorable, I gave you time so that there must never be any honorable member who feels that they or their party has been prejudiced, because most of the things that were being said here were just about ensuring the integrity of other parties or defending a political party image. And that is why I felt I must give you that opportunity. But the long and short of it is that honorable members are saying that they note the letter from the president, though they express their displeasure that the letter came at the time on the day when members were expecting their answers. And I think what we will also do is to talk to Dr. Korenhoff, the parliamentary counselor to the president, Chiefway, because in the letter that he wrote, he does not request that we allow them to submit tomorrow. The letter says, please note that we we will submit tomorrow. And I think they were supposed to be requesting that we were unable to submit today like we requested due to the following reasons. And we request that we be allowed to submit tomorrow. Anyway, honorable members have accepted that, but we will still raise that matter with them. And the rest of the matters that were said around the discussions involving the names of Paul O'Sullivan and many others, I don't think that those statements or remarks were necessary. Those are just matters which delay us in the meeting. And with regard to the two submissions, honorable members will be reminded of the decision they took the last time when we accepted, when we did condonation for the submissions that we were made, that those were the last submissions we were going to agree to. And Honorable James has said it the way we decided it, that we are at a point where the South African public now wants to see us suggesting what interventions do we think are necessary. The issue of crime is escalating in the country, and Parliament has to make a statement about its intention to curb crime in the country and make sure that South Africans feel safe in their country. So, but further than that, I don't think that Mr. Bester is justified. Mr. Bester is a convicted criminal who escaped from prison in this country and even escaped the country by the reports that we have heard. And when he appeared before court, he raised the same matters of how he was arrested and extradited to the country. And I may not have a proper recollection as to whether those matters are still before courts or the courts have concluded on those matters. And if those matters are before courts, he must allow the courts to conclude those matters. And if the courts have concluded on those matters, we cannot be an appeal body in terms of South African law. He knows where such decisions would have to be appealed. And as Parliament, we must also be seen taking into heart the lawful running of the country. We can't promote lawlessness where a person escapes from custody and then he comes and tells us that the manner in which I was arrested, it was abduction. And this thing, it's a problem because it's like certain sections of South Africa, when they get arrested, it's abduction. It's like that there is only one section that must be arrested and be put into jail. Whereas the rest, when they are arrested, they want to contest that and call it abduction. An arrest is an arrest and can never be equated to an abduction, especially when you rearrest a convicted prisoner who has escaped from prison. We must come out guns blazing on matters like those ones. And South Africans need to understand that we want the citizens of this country to be law-abiding than for Parliament to be reduced into a mockery, Parliament be reduced into a playground or a hall for gymnastics of any person who thinks they can approach Parliament and raise frivolous matters with us. We of course, when we write back to him, we will not use such statements as they may be understood to be statements of condemnation, but this is just to underscore our frustration with criminality in this country and how criminal elements may think that they are justified even when the country is hurting. We would have had, in fact, we would have preferred to listen to a family that comes before us and say we have applied for an RDP house and we are not being assisted, or a child who would have come before us and say I have applied for child support grants, I'm not being assisted, or I have passed matric well and then I have applied for support to go to a university, I'm not being assisted. But a convicted criminal who escapes from our prisons and then come and want to be justified before us, no, honorable members, we can't accept that. And the last, on the matter that you honorable members have so intensely debated, I don't think that you could have been right even to mention the details of who is against whom allegations are being made. What we, Honorable Skhosana, presented was that we have a submission before us. What is the attitude of the committee to that submission? But to go on and mention names of people who are being alleged, I don't think it's correct. This is not a committee proceedings. This is a committee meeting where we prepare for our proceedings. And once we agree on a submission that the witnesses must be called before the committee, the witness will come. And if the witness want to mention any name of a person, they will do so in our proceedings. But in our committee meetings, just to start here and mention names of people who are being alleged in the submissions, I don't think it's okay. And that is why we are going to be agitated, because it's like we're impugning on the image of other parties. And that is basically why towards the end, the matter was debated the way it was, because honorable members have dropped the ball and began to mention names of people. It must not be like when we consider matters here, there is a witch hunt, we are looking for some people because we want to implicate them or not. We were just supposed to have dealt with the submission in the manner that it was presented before us.
Point of order.
That is the summary. A point of order, Honorable Sols.
The point of order is on you, Chairperson. Respectfully, you are the number one custodian to protect the integrity of this committee. The fact that when Honorable Skhosana is saying one report has not been put on the agenda is an indictment on the parliamentary staff. And what impression does that give? It gives the impression that Mr. Bester's request was prioritized over and above Prim's request. What does that say? It raises questions. Then two, he then goes on to say that have the committee members read it. If they did read it, he doesn't understand. No, let me finish my point of order. Let me finish my point of order. Now I'm not going to allow it, Chair. Let me finish my point of order. Then Honorable Skhosana can come. So my point of order to you, Chair, is it speaks directly to the integrity of this committee. Now tomorrow, if that document, and no one can tell me, given what we are dealing with in this committee, documents are leaked from state security institutions. It's much easier for this document tomorrow to be on public platforms. When it is on public platforms, what's going to happen? The backlash is going to be, because they are talking about so and so in that document. That's the reason why the committee wanted to hide it. So I responded not in defense. I responded to protect the integrity, one, of the committee, and two, to be the first ones to show that it is us who are mentioning what is in there. And the reason why we're mentioning it is because we want this country to know we have nothing to hide. And we are encouraging honorable members to do their job of oversight and make sure that they get answers about this thing, and we are willing to do so. So I don't accept the fact that you say, Chairperson, I was out of order. My position as a member of this committee first was to protect the integrity of this committee. Thank you, Chair.
Yeah, you are not calling a point of order because you are reaffirming what I was saying. What you say is exactly what I was saying, that the honorable members were not supposed to have done what they did. And it's exactly what you are saying.
No, but I'm the one who called the names, Chairperson. And I'm explaining why I did so. So if you call the point of order of mentioning the names, it is me. And I'm calling a point of order because you are not seeing that what I was trying to do bona fide manner was to protect the integrity of the committee, not my selfish reasons. So it can't be that I'm out of order.
Maybe we are understanding the proceedings in the meeting differently, but let me assure you that what you are saying is exactly what I was summarizing. And then with regard to the point that you make regarding how the submission was brought. And remember, Mr. Bester brought road straight to the committee. And the submission that Honorable Skhosana made is not different from other submissions that were made previously or that he brought to us. And if you remember, honorable members were given a chance to present those submissions. And if there is anybody who thinks that we would have wanted to hide certain things, that would be wrong, because the people who made that submission did not write directly to us as the committee. And if they had done so, we would have brought the submission in the same way as the submission of Mr. Bester was brought to us. You have called for a point of order, Honorable Skhosana.
Thank you, Chair. I just wanted to say, Chair, Honorable Salt should stop with his insinuations that he thinks how we think. You know, no, Chair. We have wisdoms as well to think about anything. He can't be telling us we must do this, we must do that. We never mention anyone here. Never mention anyone here. It's him who mentioned names here, because he was feeling the heat under the collar for whatever reason. We never judged anyone here. It's not about party politics here. For him even to mention 𝐾𝐨𝐺'𝐿, it's out of order, Chair. You've never mentioned anyone. The staff of parliament, if they've got, they'll speak for themselves. They don't need Saul here. You are there, you are a chair. If you are out of order, you'll call us into order. But for him to go on about this matter, judging people and saying they'll prove what, it's really unnecessary. If the matter is not going to be heard here, it's fine. But he should not come in here and make this insinuation as he's trying to convince people here. The issue is that the matter was brought to the core committee. Now we've done with that matter. For him to go on and calling our names is wrong, Chair. It's wrong, Chair.
We have come to the end of the discussions.
It was foolish what Honorable Skhosana did. That was not wisdom. He wanted to make the committee look like we are hiding.
No, please, Chair. Please, you can't call an honorable member foolish. No.
Honorable Skhosana did a foolish thing.
It's unlike you, Saul. It's unlike you.
No, it's like me. I call it as it is.
It's not
Honorable
even biblical.
Skhosana,
It's not even biblical what you're doing.
it's biblical.
Chair,
You must call a spade a spade.
I respond again, Chair.
You must call a spade a spade. Honorable Skhosana did a foolish thing by wanting to make the committee look like they're hiding a document. It is wrong. I maintain.
We are not representing.
Yeah, so stop trying to insinuate things that's not true. You are wrong.
Honorable Souls.
Stop this Saul, please.
Honorable Souls.
Chairperson, I maintain he did a foolish thing.
May I please request you to withdraw the statement that you made that what Honorable Skosana did was foolish. That is my humble plea.
No, at this point, I won't do it, Chairperson, because I can substantiate his foolishness. And I'm actually shocked that Jay is not seeing it. The man said verbatim, he was fighting for that document to be on the agenda. And by virtue of the fact that it wasn't on the agenda, there could have been an insinuation by the public that that document is being hidden. Where's the wisdom in that? Where's the wisdom in that? Honorable Kosana is foolish. That was a foolish act. I will not withdraw, Chairperson. I can substantiate my position.
Honorable Souls. Honorable Souls.
I'm going to respond, Chair, later. It's fine.
No. Honorable Skosana, wait. Honorable Souls. Honorable Souls.
I'm listening to you.
Disrespecting the chair is so completely wrong.
May I please once more plead with you to withdraw that statement?
Respectfully, Chair, I will not withdraw because I can substantiate my position. Honorable Skosana did a foolish thing.
Okay. Honorable Skosana, are you still in the meeting?
I'm here, Chair. I'm here.
You heard what Honorable Sol said, isn't it?
I heard him very well, Chair.
Do you want to make a comment?
I will. Let me make a comment, Chair. I'm not going to go that low to his level, because for him, it's about his party leaders here. He's here, he's insulting me, he'll insult everybody, but he's not the spokesperson of the Ad Hoc Committee. I've never been sitting in a meeting where we appointed him to speak on our behalf. So he can't come in here and speak as if he's representing all of us. All the members who are here are not foolish as he thinks we are. Maybe he thinks he's a clever, he's fine. Good luck to him. But he must never think that he will think for us. We can think for ourselves. He is not above anybody else here. And if that's the language he used, maybe he was, sometimes you've got these people, Chair. Let me put it this way. They are hiding something under the collar. They say something as God is not. He's showing his true colors. He has shown his true colors today. He's not a man of God. He's just a salty. Put it like that. Thank you, Chair.
You are right. Now, Chairperson,
I did not want you to. I did not want you to.
He cast expressions. He must also substantiate it.
But what I will do, honorable members,
he must also substantiate what he said.
Tomorrow,
the first to say that I am a chief of sinners. I'm the first to say so. But it doesn't mean because I'm a chief of sinners, Skosana is not foolish in this meeting today. He is foolish today.
May you please listen to me so that I can also speak, because I have allowed you an ample opportunity to speak.
Yes, but Chairperson, you are not calling out Skosana. You are calling out me, but you are not telling Skosana about the statements he makes. And I'm sure that if I ask you to speak, I'm not going to be able to respond to Honorable Skosana. I know that.
I will still try.
Because you wanna close the subject, and I want to say.
Can you stop, Mr. Honorable Saul, Chair, please?
Why?
We can't be headed ransom by Saul Solomon. For more than an hour, he's talking about his party. I've thought long ago. This is going on. No, Chair, please.
You want to be the only one that speaks. You want to be the only one that speaks. Why are you screaming? Calm down.
Honorable members. Honorable Skosana,
you want to be the only one that speaks. He can't be the only one that speaks, and then we must just listen.
I will still try and talk to you tomorrow, the two of you, because I don't think that.
Chair is him.
No. Can I May you please allow me to speak?
No, but I want to say.
I'm saying that what happened here today.
I want to say that is right.
Very unfortunate.
I want to say that
Very
is right.
unfortunate for this committee.
The co-host is only muting MK. Why?
For you to address each other the way you did, I don't think it's okay. I will still try and talk to you tomorrow, so that you'll find it within yourselves to look at each other and acknowledge the mistakes that you would have committed and smoke a peace pipe. We are going to move to the next item, which is the minutes. Bonani, may you please title the minutes the way we usually do and take us through page by page.
Chairperson, we start with the 16th of January. Page 1.
How many sets are we dealing with? Or how many sets have you circulated?
I circulated 7, Chair.
Okay.
Page 1. Page 2. Page 3. That's the end, Chair.
Those are the minutes of the 16th of January.
Move for the adoption, Chair.
Okay. Honorable Cameron is moving for the adoption of the minutes. Any seconder? Can I check if there is any seconder for the adoption of the minutes?
I've seconded, Chair.
Seconded. The next set, Bonani.
The second one, Chair, is 19th of January. Page 1, 2, page 3, page 4, page 5, 6, 7, and 8 being the last page.
Okay. The minutes have been circulated. We are presenting them before the committee for adoption. Any seconder?
Second, Chair.
Thank you so much, Honorable Cameron. The next set.
The next one, Chair, the 20th of January. Page 1, page 2, page 3, and page 4, the last page.
You said the date is what?
Chair, I said the date is the 20th of January.
The minutes of the 20th of January have been circulated and are presented before the committee for adoption. Any seconder?
Second, Chair.
Thank you so much. The minutes are adopted. Can we move to the next set, Bonani?
The fourth is the 21st of January, page 1, page 2, page 3, which is the last page.
Thank you so much. They have also been circulated. They are presented here for adoption. Any seconder?
Honored Chair.
Thank you so much, Honorable Ngala. Can we move to the fifth set?
Chair, this is the 22nd of January, page 1, page 2, page 3, and page 4, last page.
Okay, thank you so much. The minutes have been circulated and are presented here for adoption. Any second?
So honored Chair.
Thank you so much. The fifth set of the minutes is adopted. Can we move to the ultimate set?
It's the 27th of January, Chair, page 1, page 2, 3, page 4, last page, page number 5.
Circulated and are presented for adoption. Any seconder?
Seconded, Chair. Honorable James.
Thank you so much, Honorable James.
Last one, Chair, 28th of January, page 1, page 2, page 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Last page.
Thank you so much, Wanani. The minutes have been circulated and are presented for adoption. Any seconder?
So honored Chair.
Thank you so much, Honorable Ngola. All the 7 sets of minutes have been adopted by the committee. That was the last item on the agenda. What time are we starting tomorrow, Bonani, in the venue?
Chairperson, we're starting
Check. Can you reserve an hour for Skosana and Sols just before the meeting?
Before that, can we have the announcements?
Chair, we're starting at 10 and the venue is the Good Hope Chamber.
And who is the witness coming tomorrow?
The witness is General Fani Masemula, Chair.
Okay. Thank you so much. Honorable members, we have come to the end of the meeting. And good luck.
Yeah, Chair, can you take 1 hour just for Sols and Skosana?
The meeting has come to an end.
We insist, Chair, we insist.
Round two, I'm ready.
I'll bring the boxing gloves.
I'll
We
do
fight
the
bare
rounds
hand.
in the ring.
We fight bare hand in elders.
Well, Bonani, the meeting has ended. Anything that is being said after I called off the meeting is not part of the record.
It's off record, Chair. Can you take
Good night,
Skosana and
everyone.
Sols for breakfast tomorrow?
The STP on the progress that has been made regarding the cases that honorable members have inquired about. And there is an update on the appearance of the IGI. And there is also a legal opinion which has been, there is a letter and a legal opinion that are being circulated in the meeting. And then there is a correspondence from Mr. Bester and his lawyers who are requesting to appear before the committee. And then the question to the president, you remember the officers returned to us and requested that they be given until the close of business today to submit. and then the last will be the minutes. Can I check if there is any other member who wants to speak to the items on the agenda?
Yes, I've raised my hand, Chair.
Honorable Kosana.
My hand I've raised because there's an issue which I've deposited last week from a gentleman called Jemani Prim. And his affidavit was deposited to the secretary. And I see there's only Thabo Bester. And I think I must raise that the issue of Jemani as well has to be in the part and parcel of the agenda.
Okay. Where is the matter coming from?
Matter is
Hello, Honorable Kosana.
Do you hear me, Chair? I'm saying the matter was brought in by one member from the Correctional Service, Honorable Daibosh. Then the matter was sent to us, and there was a correspondent from the gentleman himself who's in jail, Jemani Prim. So as I said, they must have a sworn affidavit. They've sent that sworn affidavit. I've deposited that sworn affidavit into the group, and I've sent that to the secretary.
So in their letter, do they explain why they did not comply with the deadline of the 31st of October?
Yeah, the issue was that the treatment, I don't want to because it will take time, but I can if you want me to explain what exactly happened there. As we speak here, after this matter was deposited to us, I don't know whether it has linked, but the treatment has changed. We've received messages from the mom that the guy is not eating. There's a lot of things happening in whatever CMEX prison or whatever is happening there. So I don't want to go on the merits, of that matter because everything was deposited into the group and the secretary received that. And so I don't know why was it not on the
I mean, why they have not? Remember, we have dealt with similar matters before. But even when we dealt with those matters, the committee will want to know the reasons why the person only makes a submission now. Why didn't they comply with the deadline,
with the deadline.
Of the 31st of October? You remember?
I remember.
Yes, we dealt with all those matters, including Mr. Chetty, Mr. Mlocha, and everybody.
Yes.
Why didn't they comply? That is the question that the committee asked first.
Yeah, I'm not going to speculate, Chair. I'm going to respond the same way as Thabo Bester thing, which is on the agenda today. That's what happened.
Okay, no, it's fine. We will put the matter on the agenda, and members will interact with it. Is that okay?
Yes, so it's okay, Chair.
Okay, can I check if there is any other submission to the agenda? Any mover for the adoption?
I think I have engaged you, but I'll engage you offline because I'm still gathering the facts in terms of certain submission that they submitted on time. But I'll engage even if it's after the meeting. I'll engage with the chief just to put it on record. Thank you.
I can't hear you, Honorable Shoma.
I'm saying, Chair, I will engage you on the matter of submission that was submitted. So I'm still gathering whether it was submitted in time before the closing date or not. And I can't disclose the name now until I gather my facts. For the sake of getting everything in order. So I'll engage you out offline if I get my facts on time.
Okay. Mr. Tejana, can we take the first 4 items? Item number 2, 3, 4.
Good afternoon, Chairperson. Greetings to the honorable members and colleagues. Chairperson, you will recall that we had reported at our last meeting of Monday, 9th March 2026, that the Constitutional and Legal Services Office had received an instruction from the Speaker's Office to put together affidavits in respect of 2 incidents that took place on the 19th of November 2025, i.e. the Mr. Nkabinde incident and the incident that took place on the 26th of February 2026, i.e. the walkout incident, for purposes of opening a criminal case against Mr. O'Sullivan in line with the legal provisions of the powers, privileges and immunities of Parliament and Provincial Legislatures Act. Chairperson, we can confirm that on Thursday, 12 March 2026, a criminal case was opened against Mr. O'Sullivan at the Cape Town Police Station under case number CAS 752-03-2026. On Friday, Chairperson, which is the following day, on the 13th of March 2026, we were informed by the Cape Town Police Station through Colonel Stephens that the matter will be investigated by the Directorate for Priority Crime Investigation, the DPCI, commonly known as the Hawks. As you may be aware, the DPCI is mandated by Section 17, capital D, of the South African Police Service Act to prevent, combat, and investigate national priority offences. The mandate and focus areas of the DPCI include serious organized crime, serious commercial crime, serious corruption, and specialized investigations, which handle cases requiring specific expertise as determined by the national head of the DPCI. Importantly, the referral of this case to the Hawks makes it clear that the act which Mr. O'Sullivan committed on the 19th of November 2025, i.e. in respect of the Mr. Nkabinde incident, and on the 26th of February 2026, in respect of the walkout incident, have been classified as national priority offences in terms of the subject investigation, presumably maybe because they took place in Parliament. Chairperson, we will keep you in the loop regarding all further developments in this matter. I thank you. With your leave, Chair, can I proceed to the other one?
Yes, let's proceed to the next item.
Thanks, Chairperson. Chairperson, to an opinion on the appearance of the Inspector General of Intelligence before the committee. You will recall that during oral evidence by various witnesses before the committee, the IGI emerged as a person of interest due to his active involvement in the criminal justice system. For that reason, the committee has invited the IGI to appear before it to give evidence on oath or affirmation regarding, amongst others, allegations of procurement of properties by the Crime Intelligence Division of the SAPS. The IGI has responded to the committee via written correspondence to the chairperson indicating that he can only appear before the committee once his statutory obligations have been fulfilled. These statutory obligations, which the IGI must fulfill, relate to a consultation process he must undertake with the President and the Acting Minister of Police prior to the disclosure of classified information. On the 24th of February 2026, the IGI initiated the consultation process with the Minister